or daily numbers are just in single figures now?
Not really, because I think you're right in terms of the Singapore government taking the lockdown quite seriously. So our numbers we're over 55,000 now, but majority of these are foreign workers who are living in dormitories. These are foreign workers that have come to Singapore to work and basically to help build our economy. So because they live in dormitories, it was easier for them to catch the virus. So the government has done absolutely everything, even building like medical facilities at these the dormitories to ensure that those with COVID are taken care of, and the healthy were actually moved out to facilities. And our numbers that are single numbers are currently the numbers that are in the community. We're very low community numbers. Today was 0, but then we will, today the first notification we had was 0 numbers, 0 COVID in the community, but we will know the actual figure at around 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. news. So we get that daily. But we still have numbers that are coming in, foreigners, not foreigners, I beg your pardon, Singaporeans, our permanent residents, and people on work permits, for example, coming back from other countries because for a long period of time there was no flights, or restricted flights. So now that the airspace have opened up and more people are coming back, so we do have people coming back, and the numbers are less than 15, really less than 15.
Okay.
And these are placed in they are placed in facilities like stay home notice, be it at home or in hotels, to ensure that it's all quite contained, that it doesn't spread to the community. So yes, the government has done quite a good job. So yeah, thank you to them as well.
We are waiting for that day to come for us also. But coming back to the topic for today, thank you for sharing all your experiences and how you are working, because right now I think all of us are going through the same thing, and we seek solace in finding out from each other that how are you coping, etc. And that's why I wanted the listeners to know that how is a large organization like IBO also coping. And many people are aware of the format of the IB, which is the PYP, the MYP, which is the primary years program, the middle years program, and then you have your IB, which is your international baccalaureate, your exam. Not many people are aware of the EYP. Could you help us understand what is IB EYP?
Okay, so the IB education program for the early years student is also part of the primary years program, but we call it EY, so early years primary years program, so EYPYP. So which is, as you mentioned, Dr. Swati, that is really designed for learners starting from age 3, and right up to age 12, which is grade 6. And really, it is the beginning of a lifelong love of learning. Currently, the PYP is offered in 99 schools across India. And really, the program is a caring and thoughtful approach that nurtures the whole child. It gives them ownership of their studies from the very beginning. And also the PYP, as I said, EYPYP is part of the PYP. It's a flexible curriculum framework which enables teachers to consider a child's unique abilities and interests, and allows the development of an inquiry-based learning environment that builds on the universal skills that they need throughout life. So these skills include thinking, researching, social emotional understanding, which are developed through 6 transdisciplinary themes of global significance. The program is unlike traditional models. The PYP learning is active, it's not passive, and rather than just focusing on the development of knowledge and skills, students are encouraged to take agency for their learning as they work with their teachers to develop a deep understanding of the world around them. So by encouraging a child's voice, choice, and ownership, the PYP builds confidence, happy, creative, empathetic, and self-motivated young people. And also the IB is frequently taking on board new research to develop and enhance its educational program for early years learners. For example, there are a number of new pieces of research relating to play-based learning, which will lead into the development of the play section of our early years support. An example of this is the 2017 paper by Pal and Daniels. The paper's title is A Continuum of Play-Based Learning, the Role of the Teacher in Play-Based Pedagogy and the Fear of Hijacking Play, which the IB-PYP team is referencing to gain greater understanding of the different types of play, from free play through to games with rules. So that's a very sort of a summary of what the EY in the EYPYP is about.
That's great, because you talked about the EYPYP starting from
Yes.
age 3 going up to class 6. And if you notice the new education policy now, they have termed something called the foundational years,
Yep.
in which the 3 to 8 years is going to be clubbed together. So, there are so many things that are now in the new education policy which resonate with what IB principles, etc., have in place. You talked about a very important aspect called choice, voice, and ownership, and play-based learning. And our listeners should be very happy to know that even the National Education Policy talks about play as being the foundation of all learning that should happen in the foundational years. And I head an IB EYP program, and I have seen the way the children benefit from this kind of learning. And I always used to tell my staff that I wish we could do this at all our centers, because the learning style, the learning format, the teaching format is so different that it really takes you away from the chalk talk method and the boring drill kind of rote learning. And I have seen the children blossom into very confident learners who are able to argue their case. They're also able to share, collaborate. And those are, I think, the 21st century skills that ultimately we want our children to develop. And if that foundation starts in the early years, that is what research has proven that lasts longer. So tell me, what are the core principles of the EYP?
Okay, so in terms of the core principles of the EY, I would say there are 3 areas. So the first would be student agency, social emotional learning, and the value of play. So let me please allow me to elaborate.
Yes.
Yeah. So firstly, as I said, student agency. PYP begins with the idea that young learners are competent and have valuable ideas to shape their own learning. And student agency is present when students partner with teachers and members of the learning community to take charge of what, where, why, and with whom they learn. So the PYP really encourages students to develop independence and take responsibility for their own learning. Secondly, social emotional learning. The IB believes in the power of play as the primary vehicle for inquiry, supporting thoughtful and intentional opportunities for students, for child-initiated play, hands-on learning, and the co-construction of learning between the teachers and young learners. Play offers young students authentic contexts through which to cognitively, emotionally, linguistically, physically, and socially learn and develop at their own pace. And the PYP really helps students establish personal values as foundation upon which international mindedness will develop and flourish. And thirdly, the value of play. Play is highly valued in the PYP as it offers authentic opportunities for students to begin their exploration and development of the IB learner profile, which is a broad range of human capacities and responsibilities that go beyond academic success. And through play, children actively construct meaning from their interactions with the physical and social world. The PYP transdisciplinary framework and inquiry-based learning are highly relevant for young learners, because through play, children are naturally inquiring. And the transdisciplinary theme offer authentic context for students to learn increasingly complex ideas about themselves and the world around them. Central ideas related to who we are support young children to learn and about identity, relationships, well-being, and what it means to be part of a community. And how we express ourselves relates to discovery, creativity, and the expression of ideas and feelings.
Wow. Wow. I love the three that you spoke about: student agency, socio-emotional learning, and play-based learning. And I think IB was one of the first to support the online learning format when it started, when the lockdown started.
Correct.
Because our early years program, the IB one was the first to initiate it, and then we initiated it for the other centers. Because we believed in what the IB stands for, that student agency, you need to empower them, you need to give them the ability to work on with adults on their social emotional interactions, because you can't lose out on them just because there is a pandemic. And not many people understand it. Many parents don't understand that this online learning or the virtual platform, which is being used even for early years, is basically to promote their socio-emotional development, which is so important for cognitive development also. And I love your emphasis on play. That is why I think the IB is one of the most respected boards, because it focuses on inquiry-based learning. I'm sure every educator heard about the term inquiry-based learning from the IB board. That it's completely all about, not about teaching children, this is what you have to learn, but helping children ask questions and find the knowledge on their own. So a lot of scaffolding is also part of the inquiry learning process. And one thing that I'm a huge fan of is your learner profiles. You know, it is so nice for the teachers to know about the learner profiles and the parents to know about them, so that you know that what kind of learners are there and what is it that IB wants to motivate the learners to achieve. So this is an amazing format, and I've always been a huge fan of this program. But tell me now, most people think that IB begins with the PYP, and a lot of private preschools basically feel that you know, we have to become a K-12 school for us to get a PYP program. So you have now started your EYP. What does it mean for standalone preschools? You know, those franchise preschools, preschools that are not part of high school. What does it mean for them?
So IB, we've been really working with preschools for several years now, although many, as you said, many of the schools in this segment remain unaware of this. To counter this, we're actually increasing our efforts in this area so that we're able to reach out to more preschools to share with them the benefits of the PYP. And we have actually seen a growth in the number of preschools across Asia Pacific implementing the EYPYP, and how it has actually benefited the students who progress into year one at the IB PYP school. So what it means to a standalone school is that if you are a preschool, you know, early year center, if you have students between the age of you know, really, if you even in Singapore, you have those preschools that's taking students from the age of 6 months, and they prepare the students right up to before they enter into grade one, year one. And as long as you have students within that age group of 3 and beyond, you are able to adopt the EYPYP at the center. And the great thing is that it really is, as I mentioned, it gives the opportunity for these preschools to start getting students to to be used to the idea of inquiry, as I said, mentioned agency as well. So the students become a lot more self-reliant even at the younger age. Let me share with you an example that I actually love talking about. Is that you know, you actually see students at a very young age able to have a very adult-like conversation, even before they enter grade 1, to have a very adult-like conversation in terms of their expression. So it's I really love seeing that, how they develop and how they mature even at such a young age. So I think it's I'll share with you, I don't have any children, but if I did have kids, definitely the EYPYP would really benefit the growth of of any child. Yeah.
So if I've got this correctly, Stefanie,
Yeah.
it means that if I'm a private preschool, I can now become an IB EYP center.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, wow. So this is something which is great for all the private preschools, because many of them don't want to become part of a franchised brand, but they would love to become part of a board that is so forward thinking, and especially with that believes in play. So this is good news for all the listeners out there who own preschools and who own early childhood programs and who are not part of a high school. Until now thought that IB is out of reach for us. Well, IB is now within your reach, because IB is offering its EYP program, early years program, to private standalone preschools also. So just to get this correctly, Stefanie, these private preschools usually run up from 3 years to 6 years. So
Not necessarily. So it depends on the different context. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So I'll let you continue your question. I so rudely interrupted. I beg your pardon.
So my question was that they don't run classes up to 8 years or grade 1 and 2. So they only run up to 6 years. So they would still be eligible to be an EYP center, right?
Yes. So if you are an EY center and you have children, as I said, from 6 months right up to whatever age, you can be an EYPYP school, provided that you are teaching the EYPYP to students age 3 and beyond. So
Okay.
typically, any student by the time they hit 7 years old or 8, 6, 7, 8, depending on different countries, they enter
Yes.
grade 1.
Yes.
So
Like
so
in country 6, yes.
correct. So from the age 3 to 6, they will be able to benefit from the EYPYP.
I think we should celebrate this, because I think I already saw somebody putting down a comment that this is great news for us. So this is definitely great news for all early childhood programs and centers, that they now have the option of becoming an IB EYP school. They can apply for it. I'm also proud to share with our listeners and our members that IB is our academic member now, so Early Childhood Association. And I must congratulate Stefanie for taking that step, because not many boards are interested in registering themselves as part of an association. And that shows that IB is committed to quality enhancement of early years in India. And that's why they became a member of an association, an academic member. I must congratulate you on that, Stefanie, because that itself shows your commitment to early years development in India. And we were very proud, we were very honored to have IB as our academic member. And this is great news for all the preschool owners and early childhood centers, that you can now become an IB EY program. So that is wonderful. I can see a lot of people here typing that it's great news, and I'm sure they're all going to be in touch with you regarding the same, because who wouldn't want that edge for their preschool to, especially parents sometimes ask, that what's your difference? Well, now you have your concrete difference, which you can talk to parents about. And I would urge centers to really think about this and get in touch with the IB for this. Stefanie, my question to you is, how would centers, these private preschool centers, benefit from becoming an EY program? how would they benefit from IB EYP program?
Yeah, the EY program, it's really a flexible framework. Yeah, so the PYP is applicable to every school environment, and it enables the development of the localized curriculum content through the inquiry-based framework. So IB World Schools, for example, in India and across the world, really enjoy this framework that delivers a transformational outcome, yet it's flexible enough to adapt to the cultural and community and national requirements. I think that's the key thing that a lot of schools look for, is that flexibility. As I said, it's a framework. It sits on top of a national curriculum or even a school curriculum. If you are an established brand and you have your own curriculum, the EYPYP can gel with that, because at the end of it, we are the transdisciplinary themes are there to get your teachers thinking about how you do your teaching of your curriculum or the local curriculum through the different themes. So really, the other thing is that schools can also enjoy the reputation that comes with an international board, as you mentioned, and that and obviously is the rigorous education. So which is then both recognized and taught. The key thing is that it's recognized and taught at the same standard worldwide. So you're not comparing yourself to your neighbor. You're able to then compare yourself internationally. So how are you teaching in comparison to a school in like Finland, in Germany, for example? A lot of people talk about the early years in those countries, Nordic countries, but this is then you are now then able to make that comparison, and the joy that you can have is that the other thing is, as I mentioned, the joy that the teachers can enjoy is the real ownership to the program, as the teachers can actually design the learning, and they have the opportunity to create a curriculum that really interests and motivates the students. So IB teachers really enjoy working in a collaborative worldwide community with international workshops and conferences, and benefit from quality training and support of networks and the professional development. And also earlier I mentioned that PYP gives children a voice, the choice, and the ownership of their learning. So children are excited to go to school and enjoy the process of inquiry-based learning. So it really builds the child's compassion. It really, compassion, the individual thinking, and the confidence in their ability, in their abilities and learning. And they also enjoy the benefit of an education that develops the whole self and builds universal skills for life. So PYP really nurtures a child's creativity and future learning skills, and help them build awareness of local and global issues, as well as motivation to take meaningful action. So we hope that, these things actually, we hope that schools actually see such benefit, that, these things as a benefit to the students, because we truly believe in it. Yeah.
Absolutely. What I heard, which I would like to share with the listeners, are 4 very important points. That IB believes in international mindedness, which means that when we say it's an international board, it doesn't try to force on you international standards, but it creates a mindset of international mindedness. So there's a huge difference between that. Number 2, Stefanie stressed on local to global. And that is something that IB has always stood for. Even now, when we read the national education policy and multilingualism has been given a lot of importance, IB has always stressed on it. IB has always said that the child's mother tongue should become the starting point of education. So local to global is something that is very key to IB. Number 3, benchmarking your center to international standards. So that is something that I'm sure very, very committed and passionate early childhood educators who run their own centers would love to do, that you are now part of the international mindedness in early childhood education. And last, she stressed on teacher training and education. So Stefanie, my last question to you basically is, how will these center teachers be supported in training?
Yeah, we currently have several modes. With the lockdown, what we've done is that we've made a lot of our workshops available online. So the online could be an individual wanting to enhance the professional development. You can sign up for a course as an individual, or a school that is implementing the IB can actually, as a group, as all the teachers in the particular school, also sign up for the for a online workshop. The other method is what we call a regional workshop, where we used to run workshops in like at IB schools. So that's where individuals can travel to wherever we're having that workshop in India and attend that workshop. And also another option is where we're looking forward to in the future is working with specific institutions in terms of where they would be able to host these workshops for the IB in order
Mhm.
to bring down the lowered
Yeah.
fee, because obviously
Yeah.
regional workshops are set in IB fee, but we want to make it affordable. So we are looking at working with local institutions to make it making sure that it's affordable to all. Yeah.
Wow. So that means training is accessible and it's there in multiple formats, because
That's right.
most of the time, Stephanie, these small owners of these preschools usually worry about training, because how do I train? It's an IB curriculum. Will I be able to handle it? What about my teachers? Who will help change their mindsets? So it's very heartening to know that yes, training is available, training is accessible, and there are multiple formats in which that center can access that
Yes.
training. So my question, Stephanie, is that how soon can these schools start getting in touch with you for this program?
Immediately. No, actually, no, at any time. I think my colleague is actually in this call as well. Uh,
Vinay.
yes, Vinayak. Schools can start contacting him. Vinayak, if you can maybe write in the chat your
Yes.
introduce yourself and give your email address so people can get in touch with you. But the other thing is, in terms of apart from all these professional development workshops, we're running a lot of webinars as well. These are free
Mm.
webinars. It really is for a lot of people. We had one of early years, which ECA was very, very, very generous in terms of promoting it for us. We're going to be having one on international education, what it means. As you said, international mindedness is not about bringing a foreign curriculum, and
Yes.
it's not about that. International mindedness is not about importing a foreign curriculum. It's about how do you build that mindset, as you so well described it. It's about that mindset and getting students to think global issues. Let's say global and
Yeah,
local
absolutely.
issues.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to have a seminar called International Education. And it really talks about international education in different contexts. Really, what does it mean to you? It is a very generic one. It's suitable for anybody. So I welcome anybody who's interested to attend. Yes, please, Vinay.
Absolutely. I already have members asking whether they
Yes,
can attend this
yes.
webinar. And I must tell all the members who are attending that anything that IB organizes in early years, we will be promoting it to all our members so that it's the benefit for both. And we will be posting it in our WhatsApp groups and on our Facebook page. So those of you who have still not logged on to our Facebook page, please like our Facebook page so you can stay updated to everything that happens post this conversation. And if you are not part of our WhatsApp groups, then do write to us on ecapresidentindia@gmail.com, and we will add you to the WhatsApp group so that you can stay updated to everything that the IB is now coming up with where early years is concerned. Because for us, it's a kind of a cause for jubilation that you now have private preschools who have a choice of becoming an IB EYP program. Stephanie, years back, I had come to Singapore. I think it was around 12 years back. And I visited a standalone preschool, which was an IB EYP program. And from then on, I have been wanting to know why IB is not offering this in India. And now that you have it, I'm so excited that at last the private preschools in India will be able to become part of the IB and will be able to offer this lovely local curriculum, which is so much the need of the hour. And I love the point that you stressed on, that it's not that you're trying to bring a curriculum from somewhere and trying to fit it here. IB gives you that freedom of planning so that whatever you are presently doing can be just enhanced by the IB principles and the IB way of inquiry method. So it's an excellent opportunity. I feel everybody should be in touch with Vinayak. And Mansi, post the book launch, if you can have Vinayak on the screen, if that's possible, then everybody can see him and he can type in his contact details also, because after all, it is he that is going to be the face of people wanting to know, how do I get my EYP program? So they will have to be in touch with Vinayak, and I wish we can get him on the screen. So Mansi, do we have any questions coming in from the participants?
Not yet, ma'am. They were just asking how can we apply. I think when we announced about the pre-primary section, so
Yes.
the application question is here.
Yes.
And
so in the end, if you can bring Vinayak on, so
yeah,
then Vinayak
I am
can
calling
share
him.
his details. Yes, so Vinayak can share his details so that everybody today only can get in touch with Vinayak and get all their issues, queries, etc. sorted out. So Stefanie, before we move on to the book launch, because we are very honored that you have consented to launch this book by Early Childhood Association, would you like to say anything about the EYP program to the listeners? Anything that we may have left out in our questions?
No, not really. I think the IB EYPYP, it's, as I said, it's what I've talked about today. It's just really scratching the surface.
Yes, yes.
There's a lot more that people can learn from it. So the thing is, I really encourage the participants who are interested to really get in touch with us, or even to Dr. Swati, because she knows the program really, really well. To discuss it, or to meet other IB schools to learn more about it, because of that flexibility. As I said, the flexible curriculum is the key. And given that now in India, your new education policy talks about it, I think there is a great opportunity for schools to implement it, to adopt it. And yeah, I just see that there's a fantastic opportunity, in terms of growing that learning opportunities for students. So I really welcome people to write to us, to attend our webinars, or even if people who want the proper certificate to attend our workshop to get to know more of it. As I said, I really scratched the surface, and there's a lot more that I would like to say. There's a lot more to share, and I really don't think that I could go on for hours, but it will take up too much time. But thank you so much, Dr. Swati, for this wonderful opportunity. You've been extremely generous in terms of your giving us that exposure on ECA, encouraging us to join the ECA. And I will tell the participants, it wasn't us it was all the greatness of Dr. Swati who encouraged us to be part of the ECA and giving us that opportunity to work with schools in India. So I'm very grateful, and I really look forward to working very closely with ECA and ECA members and schools in India in terms of making, changing the world. IB philosophy is all about that, making the world a better place for an education. And I really hope that we can all do this together.
And thank you, Stefanie. ECA look forward to hosting you as soon as things become normal. We would love to host you in India, where you can meet all of these people who are right now with us virtually. Maybe we can meet over a cup of coffee physically. And till then, Mansi, if you can bring Vinayak so that he can share his face and his details. So
yes, he is right here. I'll just promote him to a panelist so he can come on the screen.
Yes. Hello, Vinayak.
Just joining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. It was really a wonderful opportunity to be part of this. And the book launch and the questions and everything. And it is great that the ECA is working so hard to get the best across to all your member schools. Thank you very much for that. And on part of the and as part of the International Baccalaureate, I'm really proud. We are very proud to be associated with the ECA. We are looking forward to working with you and your schools and the co- contacts and conversations. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, you have our email IDs. It's you have our website. It's www.ibo.org, and we could also share with you our own email ID. So you'll be happy um, to contact any of the schools.
Absolutely.
Let me type Vinayak's email across so people can
Yes,
have it.
yes, yes. So everybody have a good look at Vinayak because he's your contact person in India. And
Yeah, I guess we need to wear the mask as well then.
no, but you are in the car, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Vinayak is extremely approachable, and any one of you can please be in touch with him. I know a lot of you are excited about hearing that the IB EYP is now available for standalone private preschools, and I'm sure a lot of you will benefit from this. So here is the email address. It's there in your chat. So please, all of you can get in touch with Vinayak. We will also be posting a link to this webinar on our Facebook page and on all our WhatsApp groups so that those who missed it can go through it again and have a look at what was spoken by Stefanie and can contact IB for their EYP program. So thank you so much, Vinayak. Please do stay on
Thank
for
you.
our book launch.
Can I just also share that there are online workshops available for participants. You just go on to ibo.org and participants can choose the early years workshops and they can also attend them. Yep.
Okay, great. So and this is the time when educators are looking for some nice courses to do. So please, I urge all of you, go to especially Sajida, because Sajida has been wanting to know about where the webinars are, etc. So please go to ibo.org, and there are a lot of workshops. I've seen them myself on early years. And this is a good opportunity for you to take part in those courses. And as I said, Sajida, stay connected to ECA with our Facebook page and with our WhatsApp group. So write to me if you're not already part of the WhatsApp group. Well, we come to the end of the session where we want Stefanie to do us the honor of launching our new book that Early Childhood Association has come out with. The book is My Feelings, and I now ask Stefanie to please honor us and launch the book. There it is. Wow. Superb. Thank you so much, Stefanie. This is the book, My Feelings. It's published by Early Childhood Association, and we have specially launched it during this pandemic because children are going through a lot of emotional upheaval, and we tend to just look at it as misbehavior. This book is a wonderful book that will help parents and educators help children understand feelings and help them label them. Thank you, Stefanie. We would love for you to say a few words.
Yeah, so
Stop
social...
the screen share so that you can come on the screen.
Okay, I forgot about that. Okay. So social and emotional well-being of students is an important indicator of a healthy and happy school. In early years, in particular, students will often experience emotions for the first time, as well as experience having to manage their emotions for the first time. Therefore, the recognition and acceptance of emotions in early years environments are conducive to support and encourage effective teaching and learning. The My Feelings book illustrates the importance of students' mental health and provides teaching methodologies to help them to recognize, label, and find acceptable ways of releasing their emotions. Congratulations to Dr. Swati Popat Vats and Early Childhood Association India for the publication of her new book, My Feelings. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Stefanie. Friends, here is the book, My Feelings. It's available on Amazon. And it's a book that we have put together, especially keeping in mind the pandemic and the importance of acknowledging children's feelings and helping them label it. And we thought Stefanie is the right ambassador for this book to launch it, because IB believes in the same. She talked about how children have voices and their voices are recognized and respected. And that's exactly what this book aims to do. I especially would like to draw the attention of everybody to one of the first pages where there is a poem given here. It's a common poem sung in all preschools called Where is Thumbkin? So it goes like, where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Here I am. How are you this morning? Very well, I thank you. Run away home. And that poem basically teaches children that when you are asked, how are you? All you have to say is, I'm fine. You always have to say that. Whereas this new poem now teaches children that I am angry, but I will not hit, or I am upset and I will talk to someone. So the whole poem has been changed by Early Childhood Association so that schools and become a little more aware of what are they teaching where emotional development is concerned to little children. And the book has lovely illustrations, both from the point of view of a girl and the point of view of a boy. It tells them about what can I do when I feel angry, or what can I do when I feel sad. So it's giving options to children. You know, you usually tell children, don't cry, but we don't tell them what to do if you are upset. If you're telling me not to cry, then tell me, what am I supposed to do? This book is that solution now. And I urge all educators and parents to please buy this book, show it to the children, and help your children get the best foundation in emotional development by helping them label their feelings. Thank you, Stefanie, for doing us this honor. Thank you for launching the My Feelings book. And we are going to add your little quote also in the book with your photograph, if we have your permission. And this book is available on Amazon. And I want all of you right now to get in touch with Vinayak, because early years program of IBO is something that has come to India for the first time. And I think everybody who's interested in ensuring that they give the best possible to children and parents should get in touch with Vinayak and find out more about this program. So we finished quite a lot in very little time, Stefanie. And I think it was one of the most organized webinars that I've been part of. You were so clear and precise in your replies. And you gave out so much of information and food for thought for our participants. And I'm sure they're going to mull over it and get in touch with Vinayak. So Vinayak, please keep your phone on and your email accessible, because a lot of them, and if you can send me a little small JPEG also, Vinayak, then we'll start posting it on all our groups to send a reminder to them about what is available. And especially about what Stefanie spoke about, the questions that we spoke, you know, like a little FAQ. We can start sending it out to our member base. We have 38,000 members pan-India, of which only 500 would have been able to attend this webinar. So our main, the way we send out information is mainly through our WhatsApp groups, through our Facebook, and through our emailers. So if you send me even a PDF, we have no problem. And we can hyperlink it to your IBO website so that after reading the PDF, they can immediately go and get in touch with you. Stefanie, thank you so much for being here with us today. And you really made our evening full of information and excitement. I must say, lots of excitement now that IB is now available for private preschools. And you don't have to be a full-fledged K-12 school to be an IB school. You can, as a private preschool owner, as a standalone school, also get the benefit of the IB program. Vinayak and Stefanie, would you like to say anything else before we end?
I just want to say thank you so much again for being so generous. Your kind words, extremely generous person. And I look forward to long working relationship with you and with ECA.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for this invitation. It was such an honor to be part of this book launch. Really such an honor.
Thank you. We are honored, Stephanie. Thank you so much. And together,
Thank you
I'm
so
sure we can change the way India educates its early years children, you know. So Vinayak, would you like to say anything?
Thank you again. One wonderful opportunity, and we look forward to a very good association.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Swati ma'am,
Mansi. Yes, please.
sorry, photographer Mansi is in right now. I'm going to share one screen and I want all of you to be maybe giving a V sign or something, because I'll just, one second, I just want to put this as we are launching the book.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I had to do this.
no problem. Thank you.
One
Yes.
second, I'll just click a quick photograph, because that's the launch of the book and it's a quite proud moment for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. And did you take a picture of the three of us?
Yes, I did. I posted also as well. And you can click, actually, it's only you who have the book and Stephanie ma'am didn't have, so I didn't want to take a pic without the book. So ma'am, you can take a book and maybe stand, you can have a book in your hand.
That's okay. As long as the three of us were there,
Yes.
that's good for us. And
Yes.
thank you, Mansi, for all your support. And
I have
there
the book.
she has it. Oh yeah, there she has it.
Okay, great.
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie. You are
Thank you.
such a help and such a
Oh,
support.
thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for being here with us today, and we look forward to a lot more together with IB and ECA. Thank you, Vinayak. Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you to all the participants. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.